we consider Lord Balaram and try to understand him, it is always the easiest access point if we understand Balaram as Lord Nityananda. Just as Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Balaram comes as Lord Nityananda. When we speak of Lord Balaram, we should understand we're dealing with unlimitedness, as with any Vishnu Tattva, as with any expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna. Yet, when we talk about Lord Balaram, we're especially focusing on unlimited strength. You may recall that when Gargarishi was giving the names at the Namakarna ceremony, the name-giving ceremony for Krishna and Balaram, Gargarishi, as you know, performed the name-giving ceremony not in an official and regal way, but in a clandestine, very simple way, so that the attention of Kamsa would not be attracted. And Gargarishi said about Baladev, Lord Balaram in particular, this child will be known as Bala because of unlimited strength. Now, what kind of strength does Lord Balaram possess? Bala refers to spiritual strength. As you all know, material strength is limited. It's always relative to someone else and their strength. Material strength diminishes, fades over time. Material strength is subject to being checked by superior material strength. But in the case of Lord Balaram, Bala, his strength has no limitation, and it's not subject to time and space. We don't know anything about that kind of strength. That kind of strength is beyond our material calculation. So that is the specialty of Balaram. Rama means he gives pleasure, especially to Krishna. And Bala means spiritual strength. In the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, you can see their relationship. Once in Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu told Nityananda, Shripad, holy man, don't come next year to Jagannath Puri for Rath Yatra. All the devotees from Bengal were accustomed to coming every year to see Lord Chaitanya. But he told Nityananda, don't come. He said, I have a task that only you can accomplish. Deliver everyone in Bengal. At that time, Bengal also included what is now known as Bangladesh. As you know, so many great Vaishnavacharyas, personalities, appeared in what is now known as Bangladesh. So Mahaprabhu wanted Nityananda with that unlimited spiritual strength that Lord Balaram possesses. For sometimes you can call Nityananda Baladev Nitai, or Nityananda Balaram. They're the same person. in two different capacities. Mahaprabhu told Nityananda that I've got a task that only you can accomplish: deliver everyone without discrimination. Give Krishna bhakti to everyone, whether unqualified or not. Now notice, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, even I cannot accomplish this task. Of course, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can do anything, but he's speaking out of affection to Lord Nityananda and demonstrating the power of parampara, that through the potency descending in disciple succession, the student can evidently, apparently, exceed the achievements of the master. This is the secret of the Guru Parampara. And Mahaprabhu, although he's the fount, he's telling Nityananda, you can do something I can't do. You see, most of Mahaprabhu's prime followers were aristocratic, scholars. Even Sanatan and Rupa Goswami, although they presented themselves as very fallen and practically of the same status as Mohammedans, they were actually learned scholars, very competent materially. Mahaprabhu's prime followers were like that. But Lord Chaitanya was concerned with everyone. Not just the Prakashananda Saraswatis, who was the leader of thousands of Mayavadi sannyasis. Not just the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharyas, the greatest pundit, the greatest scholar in India at the time. But Mahaprabhu wanted the common person, the lowest of persons. He wanted everyone to have a chance for Krishna Bhakti. So he gave that task to Nityananda Prabhu and told him, don't come see me in Jagannath Puri. Execute this task. Of course, motivated by ecstatic love, Nityananda still came. That's why he's known as Avaduta Nitai. It's his particular portfolio. Balaram's particular portfolio as Lord Nityananda is to show disregard for social customs, social niceties, and just display the free-flowing spiritual platform with no regard for social conformities, rituals, even Vedic rituals. So even though Mahaprabhu said, no need to visit me every year, stay in Bengal, still Nityananda would come. That unlimited strength of Lord Balaram manifested as Nityananda Prabhu in terms of delivering even the most fallen persons. That takes strength. Therefore, we're instructed to appeal to the mercy of Lord Nityananda so we can get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, you can do a task even I can't do. Sometimes devotees ask about the great acharyas of the 20th century. Why didn't they spread Krishna Bhakti all over the world? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Gaurkishora Das Babaji, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But you see, what service then would we do? By their kindness, by their grace, they've left service for us. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left service, arranged service for Nityananda Prabhu. Similarly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur could have spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Gaurkishore Das Babaji, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But they're leaving us service. And similarly, Srila Prabhupada indeed spread Krishna Bhakti all over the world, but he left so much service for us to do, filling in the situations, maintaining the situations, and expanding them. So that expansion, even the maintenance, just holding up this great mission, requires unlimited strength, not material strength. To access the unlimited strength of the spiritual platform, we do that through the 9 processes of devotional service. The foundation is hearing about Krishna, talking about Krishna, chanting about Krishna. That allows you to lay a foundation for the other processes of bhakti. And through those 9 processes of devotional service, the strength of the spiritual world descends. Particularly through hearing and chanting. As Narottam Das Thakur says, Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtan. The spiritual world, Goloka, descends through Harinam Sankirtan, the glorification of Krishna. So in that way, we're in touch with the unlimited nature of the spiritual energy. During my years in the first Brooklyn Temple on Henry Street, 1973, I had a letter Srila Prabhupada had written one devotee. I had it taped to my locker. All the brahmacharis had a little locker, and in that little locker, metal locker, you kept all your worldly possessions. It was about that wide and that tall. In that you fit everything you had. So I had a letter, not to me, but a letter Srila Prabhupada wrote someone else. A person, a devotee who happened to have a leading position at the time, but the devotee had fallen into some maya and was a disappointment. So Srila Prabhupada wrote him that, I've given you such an opportunity to be a significant leader in Lord Chaitanya's mission. So hearing reports about how you have deviated fills me with disappointment. Srila Prabhupada expressed his personal regret. I've given you such a big chance, and now I'm hearing these things. So you can understand how forlorn I'm feeling about your plight. But then, Srila Prabhupada wrote, in any case, I know Krishna will send me the right persons to lead this movement. If not you, somebody else. So he was expressing from his heart his sadness at hearing about this devotee's waywardness. At the same time, he had complete confidence in Krishna, because Srila Prabhupada's doing Krishna's will 100%. So he knows Krishna will back me up somehow or other. Krishna will send me the right persons. If not you, if you're going to squander your opportunity, someone else will get the credit. So again, we are focusing on the unlimited strength of Lord Balaram. In Krishna Lila, Balaram appears as Krishna's older brother. This is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That in the preceding Lila, Ram Lila, in the sequence of the Lord's appearance in this world, Ram Lila comes before Krishna Lila. In Ram Lila, generally speaking, Balaram appeared as the younger brother, as Lakshman, Ramchandra's younger brother. And he couldn't stop Ramchandra from going to the forest in exile because he's the younger brother. In the Vedic tradition, the older brother is senior in the superior position. So there's nothing Lakshman could do to stop Ramchandra from going into exile in the Dandakaranya forest. So next time for the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in Krishna Lila, Balaram made sure, this time I'm coming as the older brother. So whenever Krishna would go to the forest as a cowherd boy, in the Poganda stage, between 5 and 10 years old. There's the Komar stage, between birth and 5 years old. Poganda, between 5 and 10. And after that, there's Yovana, Kishore, eternal teenager. Generally, teenage years are very bewildering and painful for us in Kali Yuga. But Krishna's teenage years are infinitely perfect without the slightest blemish. Just that alone should let you know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No teenage crises. No teenage bewilderments. During the Poganda stage, between the age of 5 and 10, Krishna would go to the forest with the calves, and then finally, when he was old enough, with the cows. And Mother Yashoda would always tell Balaram, watch over Krishna. Make sure he doesn't get into any trouble. She would also tell the cowherd boys, Krishna's associates, that, but especially Balaram, because Balaram was older. Krishna knows that, of course. So therefore, when Krishna wanted to deal with Kaliya, that meant, what did that mean? It meant diving into the poisonous Kaliya lake. When Krishna wanted to do that, he made sure Balaram was at home. He didn't want to be deterred. So that is the role that Balaram plays in Krishna Lila. But as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami points out in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the expansions of Krishna, incarnations of Krishna, they would all rather be devotees. So how do they do that? They appear in Chaitanya Lila as devotees. They would rather forget that they are God, Bhagavan, and be devotees. So here we are, trapped in the illusion of material existence. We want to be God, consciously or unconsciously. We want to be the controller and the enjoyer. But the actual Supreme Personality of Godhead, in all his forms and incarnations, would rather be a devotee. And they do that in Chaitanya Lila. That's why Advaita Acharya reports in Chaitanya Charitamrita that he and Nityananda sometimes suddenly jump up in the air, exclaiming, "We are the servant of Lord Chaitanya. We are the servant of Lord Chaitanya. We're the servant of his servants." And suddenly they sit back down quietly. They would rather be servants than Prabhu, than master. And just see our reverse standard. We always want to be in control. Why is that? Because we're attached to being imitation enjoyers. And without control, you can't materially enjoy. That control must be there even subtly. Just movement of an eyebrow to motivate someone. Just an inflection in your voice. Wouldn't you really like to do this? That's control in order to accomplish your purposes. So everything in the material world is like that. If you want to materially enjoy, there's always an element of control involved, whether gross or subtle. Some kind of way that we're influencing the situation. This is why life on the material platform is so problematic. You can't enjoy without controlling. Therefore, how can there be pure love? The so-called attempts of love on the material plane always involve some kind of control effort, some kind of selfishness. To relieve us of this control and enjoyment trap, Lord Balaram comes as Lord Nityananda. Krishna comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show us what the real standard is, to lead us to the unlimited ocean of devotional service. Just like you hear about the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, as reported by Srinivasa Acharya, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are always doing the service of expanding the limits of the ocean of transcendental bliss. By their service, the ocean of love of Krishna increases. Even though that ocean has no limits, it still increases. This is a great wonder. We'll never understand the complete scope of bhakti. That's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, just one drop of pure love of Krishna can drown the whole universe. Just one drop. So how will we ever appreciate the length and breadth of the ocean of devotion? It is beyond time and space. Sometimes the question is raised, if Krishna is Atmarama, then why does he need devotees? He's self-sufficient. If someone's self-sufficient, that means, it should mean, they don't need anyone. They don't need anything. It's all in them. That is true. Krishna is self-satisfied, but he doesn't have material self-satisfaction. Spiritual self-satisfaction is always increasing. So it's hard for us to put those two things together. He's Atmarama, he's self-satisfied, then why does he need devotees? We think materially that needing someone else or arranging for someone else to relate to you means you're lacking something. But you're dealing with Krishna, who has no material qualities. So his expanding the network of devotees doesn't indicate a lack in him. He's always Om Purnam, perfect and complete. It's a contradiction from the material point of view. Just like Krishna says in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Ajopi san avyayatma. Although I am unborn, I still appear in the material world. Although I am unborn, number one, avyatma. Number two, my body is inexhaustible. It's non-material. Bhutanam Ishropisan. Although I'm Lord of all conscious beings, number three, still I come to the material world. Sambhavami Atmamaya. I come my own way, through my own portal, through my own corridor. It's a paradox. How can the unborn take birth? Queen Kunti, in her famous prayers, mentions that as one of the prime characteristics of the Supreme Personality Godhead. How can the unborn take birth? Similarly, how can the self-sufficient, the Supreme Self-Sufficient, how can he rely upon devotees? In the ninth canto of Bhagavatam, chapter 4, about Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. The Lord is explaining to Durvasa Muni about the Lord's relationship with devotees. He's instructing Durvasa Muni, who offended Maharaj Ambarish, that you don't understand how dear devotees are to me. He said that these devotees who have made me their sole destination, without them, I have no desire to relish my own transcendental bliss or my Sadaishvarya, my 6 opulences. Without these devotees, I have no impetus to relish my own unlimited ocean of transcendental bliss. What to speak of my 6 opulences: wealth, strength, fame, knowledge, renunciation, beauty. So then again, if Krishna is independent and complete, why is there the need for devotees? But everything about Krishna is unlimited. So he wants there to be unlimited devotees. Why does he ask us to surrender to him in Bhagavad Gita? Because he's missing something in himself? No. Because he wants unlimited devotees, because he's unlimited. So if you want to blame Krishna, you have to blame him for being unlimited. Everything about him is unlimited. His desires are unlimited. Let there be unlimited devotees. At the same time, he's perfect and complete. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. In his Vrindavan Leela, he has unlimited loving affairs. In that way, the devotees benefit. By having unlimited devotees, Krishna expands unlimitedly his loving affairs. His pleasure expands unlimitedly in that way. Therefore, the devotees who cooperate with Krishna in expanding Krishna's pleasure, they become very fortunate. So that is the task that we long for, the joy we long for, to be relied upon by Krishna for expanding Krishna's pleasure, even though Krishna is self-sufficient and independent. So therefore, someone who fulfills the Lord's desire to have unlimited devotees becomes very dear to the Lord. So we have to understand that everything about Krishna is unlimited. Just like Balaram's spiritual strength is unlimited. Balaram's ability as Rama to give pleasure to Krishna is unlimited. Similarly, there should be unlimited devotees. That's Krishna's unlimited desire, even though he's Atmarama, self-sufficient. Srila Prabhupada gives the example of, even though a man is rich, or a woman is rich, generally they want children, just to expand the network of relationships. And if they can't have any children, they adopt a child. Somehow they feel that the love is expanding, the relationships are expanding. It's a material example. Krishna is never alone. Eko Bahusham. The one becomes many for the sake of increasing the pleasure. And Krishna is always self-sufficient because everything is his energy. So how can you object to Krishna expanding his energy this way and that way as networks of loving relationships and empowering his devotees to expand the network of devotional service? And in that way, such devotees become even dearer to Krishna. So in this way, you can see how the spiritual love is always expanding, increasing. That's our real service. That's our real occupation, Sanatana Dharma. Assisting Krishna in expanding the network of loving affairs. And of course, Krishna and Balaram come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And give out Krishna in a way that Krishna himself doesn't do. So I hope in this way you can get a vision for how the spiritual energy is always expanding. And remember, when Krishna asks, Sarva Dharman Pratyaja, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, surrender to me, it's for our benefit. What can Krishna do? He's unlimited and he wants unlimited devotees. That's all part of being unlimited and self-sufficient. Everyone is Krishna's energy. So when you help Krishna by arranging for the cooperation of rebellious living entities, you're helping to expand the loving affairs of Krishna, the network of service, loving devotional service, and in that way you become dear to Krishna. All right, any questions? Yes.
I have been trying to understand one of the pastimes of Lord Baladev. The name itself defines the strength and the personality of Supreme Personality, Lord Balaram, that he was full of power and energy and strength. But when he enters the assembly, where all the sages, Ekada Nahisharanya, Rusha Shaunaka there, everybody had assigned high priest the highest seat. And just like a Daksha could not understand Shiva because he was in trance and he thought, I'm not respected, he felt bad. Similarly, Lord Balaram also felt, and he took a straw and he kills the priest. So somehow, like in Mahabharata, Vishwamitra says...
But what is it you don't understand?
Huh?
What is it exactly you don't understand?
What it is, that like the strength he had, but the way he applied, like it was not based on a goodness. It was...
Not based on what?
Huh?
It was not based on what?
Goodness. Either it's the ignorance.
By whom?
Or goodness.
By whom?
Like in Mahabharata.
No, who you're talking about is acting not based on goodness.
Yeah, but expect...
Who? You're saying Balaram acted not based on goodness?
No, like what I mean, Amaniya, Maniya, Kirtiniya, Sadahari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Amaniya. You should be like a straw grass.
But this is Balaram.
Expecting any respect.
You can't mix Leelas like that. Balaram as Nityananda tolerated even being attacked by Jagai Madai. But as Balaram, he had to make sure that Dharma is maintained, and this Romaharshana was actually arrogant. He was, the Acharyas point out, seated on a chair so high that when Balaram walked in, Balaram had to look up. Everyone else offered their obeisances, but not Romaharshana. So therefore, such arrogance caused Balaram to consider his circumstances of material birth. He's not actually a full Brahmana. Why such arrogance? It's Balaram's mission and Krishna's mission. Yada yada yadharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever and wherever there is a dharma, they do something about it. So with just a blade of grass, he finished this offender. Whereas in Chaitanya Leela, Nityananda Leela, their mission is not to annihilate the miscreants as they did as Krishna and Balaram. Instead, they flood the world with love of Krishna. Still, in Lord Nityananda's pastimes, there was a problem with the brother of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who didn't respect properly a great devotee of Lord Nityananda, Minikatena Ramdas. But he wasn't killed, he simply fell down from devotional service, as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami reports. Kaviraj Goswami said to him, I know that you respect Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Supreme Personality Godhead, but you don't accept Nityananda. You fool, don't you understand that's like accepting half the hen? These two brothers are inseparable. It's better that you reject them both than accept one and disregard the other. Better reject them both. So because the brother of Kaviraj Goswami made that offense, he fell down from devotional service. But he was not killed. Whereas in Krishna Leela, Balaram Leela, watch out. Anything else? Yeah.
Similarly, one more pastime like Balaram in one case supports Duryodhan in the Mahabharata, especially in the war case, and then he did not fight in the war. So how do we understand that pastime of Lord Balaram? Is it like Yogamaya potency?
He's adding some spice to the whole sequence of events. But he avoided the whole battle. He went on pilgrimage. But then he returned right at the end of the battle, and the Pandavas were worried. Uh-oh. He's known to have some favoritism for the other side, but it was all right. There's variegatedness within the oneness. Just like what happened when Krishna disfigured Rukmi. What did Balaram say? Krishna, why have you done this? You've made him look so funny. This is not the way our family treats people. Because Krishna had snipped off half of Rukmi's mustache, his hair, made him look very ridiculous, which for a Kshatriya is worse than death. So Balaram, for the sake of Rukmi's sister, Krishna, what have you done? This is variegatedness in the oneness. Tomorrow we'll discuss how in Brahma Vimohana Leela, the bewilderment of Lord Brahma, Balaram was bewildered also. That was part of the pastime. Not only to bewilder Brahma, not only to increase the love of the cowherd men and cowherd women who wanted to always have Krishna as their son, but one of the purposes of that Leela is to bewilder even Balaram. Anything else? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Glory to Prabhupada.